Hello everyone. In this video we are going to use for loops and some functions to create a table in order to create this exponent table where all we're showing is that 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 again is 8, so on for the values between 2 and 10. We're going to start off with this basic page here. The HTML code for it is down here and a blank JavaScript file. So we have this page and we can see that all it displays is hello world. I'm going to show a couple of things. The first thing is that when the browser loads a web page, loads your HTML file, it loads it from top to bottom. So first it's going to read in the head and go line by line, figure out what the title is going to be, load in the script, then it's going to go to the body and say, okay, I need to put in this paragraph with hello world, and that's what we end up seeing. So to show an example of how that works, I'm going to just add, using this function document.write. So document, that's our page, and .write is a function where we can say JavaScript has loaded in our JavaScript file. So we do that, refresh, and JavaScript has loaded shows up. So here we can see that this is run right away, and this is written out, and then the web browser figures out that it needs to write in hello world. If instead we want it so that the browser only runs this JavaScript once the rest of the page is loaded. So for example, if you're manipulating something within the body, you need to wait until the body's loaded before you can actually manipulate it. So in the body tag here, you add the onload attribute, and we need to put in a function. So let's put this line of code in a function. Function's name is loaded. We put that here. Here we can see our JavaScript has run after the hello world was put on the page because document.write overwrites what's inside of the web page. Okay. So next we are going to create this table here. So in order to do that, I'm going to create another function called create table, and what we want to do is create a new table element. So to do that, we are going to use the function, another function on document called create element, and the element that we want is table, and we are going to assign it to the variable myTable. From there, we want to have it so that this table has a border. We'll put a border on ours as well, and do myTable.border attribute, and it's equal to 1. Okay. Next, we've created this table, but we haven't actually put it into the web page. So to do that, we are going to use this line. First we get the document, and then we get the body attribute, which is this part right here. And then we run the function append child, and we put in our table as a parameter, and that will actually add this table onto the web page. Next, we are going to use a for loop to create the body of the table. So for the first part of your for loop is the initialization. So we're going to start this loop off at 2, as we can see in this table. The next step is condition to test. So this will be run every single time the loop runs through. So we're going to go until the value exceeds 10, so it's not less than or equal. So the value must be less than or equal to 10 in order for the loop to run once more. And at the end, we're going to add an iterator, or a reinitialization of the loop. And what that means is we are going to, this is shorthand for adding 1 to I, And so every time the loop runs, the first time I will be 2, the next time I will be 3, 4, 5, so on until it becomes 11. And then this condition will be false because I will be greater than 10, and then the loop will stop running. So a couple of functions that you will have seen in the textbook. We are going to run insert row and insert cell on the table. So here we are inserting a row. -1 means at the end of the row. Inserting a cell 0, that's the first column, and we are just going to insert I. So if we save that and run this, first we need to change this so that we're actually running this function. So we're going to change this to create table. Now we see that we have our row, so that gives us our first column. Next we'll do something similar. This time we don't need to recreate the row, we can just insert another cell, and we want to put the inner value in that cell as I times I. So we save this one, run it, there we go, that's our second row. And finally, exact same process for the third cell. There we go, we have our matching page, matching the example there. So here we can see that first I is 2, it runs through, it adds the column with 2, next it runs through, adds the column with 4, next it runs through, adds the column with 8. Then it repeats, does the same thing for 3, until this condition fails. Alright, good luck.